Yeah, RoboCup started with a very crazy idea, basically, to build a team of humanoid robots that can win against the FIFA World Champion. But I think the idea is really great because it instills a lot of long-term interesting development in robotics and AI.
We started the RoboCup 1997 in Nagoya in conjunction with ICHIKAI, International Giant Conference for AI. At that time, very few teams, totally 40 or 45 teams, especially the small size league, the middle size league, and the simulation league, the 3 leagues. The small size league, just 4 teams. Middle size league, just 5 teams. One of them is my own teams. And the middle size league, at the beginning of 1997, 20 years ago, so it's so difficult to control the 5 robots together. Therefore, the most robots just stop, no motion, or all the time hitting the wall or something. So it's kind of the chaos. So it's very difficult. So just the 0 to 0 or just 1 to 0 something. So that's very early days of the RoboCup.
So one of the major accomplishments or the challenges is to have everything working, the vision, the behaviors, the robots with the batteries, with everything working in the motors and going straight and God knows what. So it's this integration, it's the fact that all the pieces have to be working that is one of the biggest challenges. The most exciting part is winning and competing, but it's also like coming here and meeting again these people that were here the year before and come the next year with better teams and new students. It's a community that keeps growing and growing, and people like to come and show what they did differently or how did they improve. Every year the rules change in RoboCup. Every year we increase the field, we make it harder in terms of colors of balls, or we make it harder in terms of number of robots. It's every year a change. So it's not that we come and we can play with the exact same algorithms and approach we had the year before. So, and everybody's trying to improve. We publish all the results we have done, so everybody can see how did Carnegie Mellon do all the passes? There you go. How did Be Human did their walk? There we go. There are publications in the symposium and everywhere else, and so people can build upon what was done before.
When it started, the robots in this league actually didn't look like robots. They looked a bit like balls playing with another ball, maybe like the Star Wars robot, like the BB-8 or something like that. At that time, there was no BB-8 and nobody knew that you can actually do robots like this. So, so it looked a bit unrealistic. And then it was a community effort to develop this simulation further. And now we play with 11 humanoid robots that pretty much look like the robots in reality, and they play 11 versus 11, and they struggle with things like falling down, getting up, pretty much like the real robots, but you don't need to buy the real robots. So it's a free software that everyone can download, and it's been developed by several people now, and somebody did a very nice visualization, and the speed has been increased and so on. And so now we can play this 11 versus 11 and face some of the same problems that people with real robots also face without actually buying them.
The small size league is a very rich environment that you don't usually get in robotics. You get a combination of things. You get a combination of an adversarial, teamwork, highly dynamic, and real robot scenario. And because it's a competition, all of these robots actually have to work well throughout the game. Now, you don't get this very often in robotics, and so we've been pushing forward at several of the dimensions of robotics research in the small size league. We have 2 teams of 6 robots each, and they have vision that is looking at them from above. So the rules are very similar to real soccer, to human soccer, but we have these little robots that have a standard pattern on the top, and these patterns help the camera identify the robots, and we have this orange ball that is also seen by the camera. So the fact that these cameras are looking at the robots from above creates a very good estimate of what the world is like. And what this allows us to do is to focus on the problem that we find very interesting, which is team coordination.
So middle-sized league is about having robots which are not, I'm going to use a harsh word, anthropomorphic. That is, they don't have a shape similar to a human, so they are not so-called humanoids. They are wheeled-based robots, and they are not constrained to use exactly the same senses as humans, for instance. In the middle-sized league, most of the teams have what we call omnidirectional movement. They dance in the sense of the way they move. They also have 360-degree vision, which is limited actually, but it means that they don't have to turn to know what's going behind them. So it's clearly different from a human, okay? But on the other side, the kind of robots we use, their size, allow us to put in enough computing power to make them completely autonomous, which means that in middle-sized league, each robot is a single entity that cannot use any external sensing system or any external cue apart from the lines of the field, the goals, the ball, the opponents, etc. And they are completely autonomous. They can dialogue among them, share information among them, and this is all about basically cooperation. And cooperation in a highly dynamic environment. Why highly dynamic? Because these robots can run as fast as 4 or 5 meters per second, which is really, really fast. They can weigh around 40 kilograms, so we're talking about an amount of movement, very significant one. They play with a regular soccer ball, FIFA soccer ball, and in fact, they are at a moment which is more close to, I wouldn't say a real soccer game, maybe a futsal game, because we are talking about teams of 5 robots, okay? Playing on a field which is not the size of a futsal one, but is maybe half the area of a futsal one. I would say that what is challenging is exactly cooperation. It's the most challenging point. Cooperation and strategy. Okay, and it's amazing because when we look throughout the competition, and the competition lasts for 4 days or so, and you look on the games on the first day, the second day, third day, and then the finals, you look at every team ramp up significantly, which means that all the work you can do in our lab is very nice, very interesting, but if you don't come to the competition, you actually don't evolve so much.
This is our goalkeeper. Maybe the most important player in the competition because there are many shoots during the games. If your goalkeeper have the good defense ability, you can prevent your opponents attacking. And this is our other 4 players. Is the side and the model is the same. It's different from the goalkeeper. And normally it's 2 players for the defense and 2 players for the attacking.
Standard Platform League is a league that uses real robots, but all of the robots are identical. So they were originally provided by Sony, the Aibo robots, the ones that look like dogs. Now it's the Aldebaran Now robot, a humanoid robot, sort of small robots that walk on 2 legs. And the point is that unlike some of the hardware leagues or some of the other leagues where you can get an advantage by having a robot that moves faster or kicks harder, you can still work in the Standard Platform League, you can still work on the algorithms to have the robot walk faster or kick harder, but everyone has the same hardware, so it's essentially a software competition. Who can program them to see better, to walk faster, to make better decisions. And so it's a very good league for computer scientists who don't want to work on the engineering or the motors and the gears. That's provided by this outside company.
terms of input, what we have mainly are 2 cameras. We have 4 microphones on the head.
We've got 4 sonars on the chest, so there are 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on the other side.
We've got a couple of buttons.
So there are 3 buttons on the head there, you can see.
And then in terms of output, there's obviously, is it limp?
Yep. Oh, no, sorry.
Limp it.
Body limp.
So you've got head movement, wrists, all the leg movement you'd expect.
So you can imagine with a robot with this many joints, this many ways it can move its body around, it's quite a challenge to walk, it's quite a challenge to kick, and it's where a lot of our research and time goes. Yeah, so on the field, what we do is we essentially dynamically assign roles to certain people based on how close they are to the ball. So you can imagine just like on a real field of soccer, whoever's closest to the ball, they want to go for it, the rest go and set themselves up in other positions waiting for it. So we really do play as a team. They all communicate through the Wi-Fi. Every match is played on the Wi-Fi network, and they decide strategies between them, and we essentially just try and get the ball from one end to the other, avoiding enemies, other opponents on the way, and kicking the ball.
The increasing realism of the league also is a big challenge for the software. So where you before could basically search for the most orange part in the image, you now have to detect a black and white ball between black and white robots. So this is a lot more difficult.
Hey! Mach mal die Lichter aus!
So the Humanoid League is for bipedal robots that play soccer, and many of them are self-constructed by the teams. They come in different size classes, like kid size, and the teen size are the medium ones, and then there are adult size. And this league is actually the one most closely related and working towards the original vision of RoboCup, to play against the humans. So there are big robots, but they don't play games, soccer games yet. They play simplified competitions like dribble and kick. And in the teen size class, we do play 2 versus 2 games. In the kid size class, we play 4 versus 4 with smaller robots.
So in the RoboCup Humanoid League, the humanoid robots are restricted to a humanoid body plan. This means first that the size of the foot with respect to the height of the center of mass is very restricted, which means they have, many of them have much smaller feet than other humanoid robots outside RoboCup. The second challenge is the human-like sensors, which means only hearing and vision is allowed, vision with 180 degrees of view and on a head, which means you have a pan tilt motion, you can look around, but you have no sensors looking back and no sensors having a larger field of view. Now what happens if a robot needs to, a humanoid robot, such humanoid robots now need to play soccer. This means the robot, if the robot looks down to the feet to see the ball, position to the feet to the ball, it doesn't see the environment, it doesn't see the opponents. And it gets pushed by other players, so the localization becomes extremely challenging on this, and the coordination of all these motions. And this makes it especially challenging in humanoid league. In addition, very recently, the Humanoid League has introduced artificial grass and also non-specific distinguishers between the different goals. So they're much more human-like goal, human-like grass environment, and this in addition makes it now extremely challenging for the robots.
Ja, genau, jetzt der Torwart nämlich raus, weil das
you need to do very serious research in order to be able to score a goal. That's how to score a goal. That's why we are so excited. We see our research implemented with these robots. So we're excited about it.
And so I remember once a very interesting story. The goalie didn't stop seeing the ball and went all the way down the field and scored, passing every other robot, boom, and scored itself. And we were saying, where is it going? Where is it going? Where is it going? Guess what? It scored. It was very kind of unexpected, and we are in the middle of the game saying, oh my God, the goal is going. And there you go.
Gehalten!